Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today's video, I'll be going through another SEO audit for one of our clients, and basically we'll be looking at this website. And I think this website is on WordPress, so I think it's a lot more relatable because a lot of you have WordPress sites. So like always, when I have episodes like this, I walk through what I look out for in terms of getting the best organic reach for websites, because a website that doesn't have traffic will not necessarily do much in terms of getting sales, getting leads, and driving business, or making your business better. So I hope throughout the whole process I try my best to explain exactly what I look out for, what are most common factors that's limiting a website's performance, and how to actually fix them. So hope you like it. If you have questions, feel free to ask whichever platform that you're on. And if you are watching this not live, you can feel free to leave it in the comments, and then I will answer them when I see them. So let's get started. Okay, so today's site that we'll be auditing is CVP Group. Okay, so this is a photography and video production. So what we're going to do, as usual, we're going to set everything up. We're going to open up our audit template. And I already have some here, so I'm going to make a copy. Okay, so while I'm setting everything up, let me just delete this part. So if I'm moving a bit fast, if it gets confusing, I apologize. But this is usually the speed of how I work. And if you have questions or you're not sure what I'm doing, just feel free to let me know. I'll try my best to explain every single thing. So right now we're just setting everything up for this audit, because what we will be going through this audit for we'll be going through this audit with the owner of the site. So yeah, so the first thing I always like to look at, so once we have gotten the sheet set up, the first thing I like to look at, okay, let me just change the music for a little bit. Okay, so the first thing I like to look at overall when it comes to a website, right, is to look at some of the basics first. Okay, and immediately I notice a bit I noticed something very weird. Okay, immediately, as you can see over here, I have a bunch of extensions that I use to check to get more data for a particular website. Okay, and I have this particular extension that is installed. Okay, is SC robots. So what this does is it checks the page, or this specific page, for the kind of robots tag it has, particularly no index and no follow. So you have no idea what no index and no follow is. I will just explain no index, because no follow I think will take a lot more time. So no index means you're telling Google you're telling all the search engines not to put this page on their database, meaning to say you're telling Google not to put this page on the search engines. Okay, and this is if done intentionally, this is perfectly fine. But what I'm seeing here is, if you can see over here, this shows me there's a no index. Okay, and you can do a double check by right clicking and then view page source, and then you just control find for no index, right? So you can see there's a no index, no follow here. Okay, which is kind of weird, because with websites, particularly the home page, you would want to show up on Google, right? So if now, let me just do a check to see if this page is on Google at all. So you can see the home page is not showing up. Okay, when I type in the website, this is not their company, right? This is a different website. So this is cvp.com, this is CVP group. So you can see their homepage is not even showing up, right? But their this is not them. Yeah, so their photography page, so their services page are showing up. So this is kind of weird in a sense that, you know, why do you not want Google to see your homepage? Because that's one of the most important pages. So what I'm gonna do is so I like to look things from a wider perspective and then narrow it down. So when I look at a website, I look at the overall, from what I can see on the surface, right? So home page is set to no index. Okay, so this is one major concern because this means that their website is not appearing on Google at all. That means if people to search for their website online, like what I did now, they can't find their website because they have a no index tag. So if you did this knowingly, then it's perfectly fine because you know how to make use of the no index tag. But what I'm looking at right now, I don't think they did this on purpose. Okay, I really don't think they did this on purpose. So this is what first thing I noticed already, okay, which is a major red flag. Okay, and then we're going to take a look at whether does this site has analytics installed, because analytics without analytics is technically blind. Okay, so there is analytics installed, so this is perfectly okay. So it seems like they are using Google Analytics, which is fine, Google Tag Manager, which is fine. That's okay. So let us just sort of, browse through the site. Okay, the design is decent. Okay, design is decent. Okay. Hey, this looks like the guy from this. This looks like the guy from Walking Dead. Yeah, but anyway, so this is a decent enough page, and let's just check if this button works. Okay, so this button works. Okay, and then let's just navigate the page a little bit. So I'm just checking to see is there any major things that is standing out. So it seems like it's quite a small site. So they have their services here. Okay, and then photography. Their services. Then they have a video here. Okay, this is almost similar to I can already sort of guess the issues that you might have, because with a lot of pictures, it means there might not be a lot of content. Okay, which later on we'll go into detail. We'll go into a deeper analysis. So I'm not so much worried about that. So this is their portfolio. So they are linking out to their portfolio videos here, which is all right. But they do not want to, how would I say? I mean, it's fine. I personally prefer if I were to click this, it opens up in a new tab, because I don't want people to go away from my site. I want them to stay on my site as much as possible. Okay, and their call to action is email us, which is not the best practice, because what you want to do is you want to basically have a form. So think of it this way. This is, I think, a little bit of user experience. So when you want people to take a certain action, right? You want them to be able to take an action without that much friction. So some of the friction that you will see is, for example, if I were to click on this page, a pop-up comes up and it's technically another new window. So that is a friction. So ultimately, you want to remove that and basically have a form, which is something like that, okay, where they can fill in the form here, okay, and it doesn't take them out of this page. They are still on this page. So lesser friction. So this way, conversions will be slightly better. Okay, so but overall, I think it's fine. So let me just take a look at the pages that is being indexed. Okay, now this is interesting. So you can see, right? This is a major issue. You can see the services, okay? It's also set to no index as well. That means whenever people search for video production, this site will 100% not show up. This means that it's technically a website that is non-existent. I'm not sure why they said it this way. Okay, and sometimes, just by this one issue, right, it will help them significantly. And this is a major issue. Because can you imagine if you have a website and you have services that you offer, and your website has been live for 1 year to 2 years? Actually, let's check how long has this website been live. Okay, since 2014. Okay, which means it seems like they started from Wix and then now they are on WordPress. So it means to say, depending on how long their website has been set to no index, it means you could have a website that has been around for 5 years to 6 years and you have a no index tag set and you have zero clue. That means your website has not been on Google for, for the past 4 to 5 years. So this is a major red flag. Okay, so it seems like all their services page are not showing up. Okay, so what I'm most worried is their whole website is set to no index. Okay, I have a feeling that their whole website is set to no index. Okay, let me just check. Oh my god. Yeah, so their whole website is set to no index. Oh my god, this is not good at all. So this is already a major issue. Wow, okay. Which means this website is technically non-existing. So you might be wondering, how come their website is showing up here? Okay, this is potentially another problem. You see the URL over here. This is www. And then you see this version over here. It's without www. So this is one very common technical issue with websites. So if I were to key in www, this should redirect to the version without the www. Okay, so it's redirecting. So this is good, right? So this means that in the past, they used to have a version like this. Okay, they used to have the www versions. Okay, another check I like to do is just to remove the S from the HTTP. Okay, so this is not good. Okay, because just like the previous test, this needs to redirect to the correct version. So, yeah, so this is not being redirected to the correct version. Okay, so they have two different versions. Okay, so they have two different versions. One is one is not secure, another one is secure. Okay, and then you might be wondering, why do all these matters? Now, all these matters because if you want your website to be found, all these issues matters because this is essentially how Google will understand your site as well. So Google is not human beings, they are robots, they are algorithms. And how their algorithm reads is they will read all these no index, they will look at your page and essentially see exactly all these issues that I'm seeing. So basically, I'm standing in for Google or for search engines right now. Because if I look at all these issues, it means search engines will also look at all these issues. So if you want your website to be found organically on the website, or you want to grow organically, all this needs to be fixed. Okay, so already a few interesting things. And yeah, so it seems like they have a blog. So let's go check out their blog. Okay, so I like to check to see if they update their blog on a consistent basis. So this doesn't show me the date. Let me see, can I find the date here? Yep, so this is, I think, most likely updated in May. Okay, because they uploaded this picture in May. So probably, surely not really. Content upload. So because their whole site is set to no index, that's why it's also they are using Elementor also, which is awesome because I'm very familiar with Elementor. So yeah, it doesn't seem like I can find a date here, but no worries. At least they have a blog. But the problem is with their blog, they are not getting any traffic. And the reason why you want to have blog, why you want to create content for your blog, the whole reason is to get traffic, right? So if you write blog without having a strategy in place, you're going to write a lot of blog but not get a lot of traffic. Or in this case, you can see over here, this is no index, which means you'll get zero traffic. So again, I'm not sure, this is kind of weird. Because just by fixing this one thing, I can almost guarantee you that the whole website's performance will increase. Okay, so now let's see whether does this have any date. Nope. So it doesn't have any date. Okay. So it seems like it doesn't have any. Yeah, so the whole page is set to no index, which is not good. Okay, so one more thing that I had to look at, it's the current organic performance. So I've already opened it up here. So first few things to notice, okay, if you use a tool like this, like Ahrefs, you will see essentially the DNA of a website. So this DNA means kind of like how many websites linking to you, what are the backlinks, what are the organic keywords you're ranking for, where are these traffic coming from, and I mean coming from in terms of which country are these traffic coming from. And so this technically gives us a overview of the DNA, what's behind the website, right? So the one thing that I noticed, which is kind of weird, okay, if you see over here, their website has been live for quite a while. Okay, and this is the referring domains. Now, referring domains means how many websites are linking to your website. So if you can look over here, this says 1, right? And it has been 1 since, for years. So since 2017, so almost 5 years. And then in September or October, that means 1 year ago, it shot up from 16 to around 100. Okay, so that is almost 10 times the growth. Now, this is a bit unusual. Okay, so this gives me a sort of idea of there's a few things that could be happening. Number one, they ran some sort of press releases. That's so they hire a press release company to do press releases for them. That's why they have their articles all around these different sites, and then all these different sites have links back to them. So that's one possibility. The second possibility, which is they hired a SEO person or SEO company to do SEO for them, and these SEO agencies went in and built all this website, built all these links for them. Now, a few things that comes into mind when it comes to linking. You want it to be as natural as possible. So let's just take a look at this, right? So by growing at an exponential rate like this, okay, it is somewhat not natural, because in a span between August to November, the number of links shot up by almost 10 times. So this is already a not my preferred route of building links, because it needs to be natural, right? And secondly, if this is the ratio, or if this is the growth that they intend to build, that means 10 times over the last 2 to 3 months, they need to at least maintain at a gradual growth, right? So you can see the moment they stop building links, that is, I would guess, the traffic goes down again. And also, I noticed this. You can look over here, the number of links that is linking to them, okay, and the number of organic traffic this site gets, okay, it's almost redundant, right? Because excuse me, because a lot of times when a lot of people think about building links is one of the most fundamental factor when it comes to ranking on Google. But if you just focus on building links and you don't worry about technical things, like for example, can you imagine if they hired a SEO person to build links for them? At the end of the day, their website is set to no index, so they can build 1,000+ links, their website is still not going to show up. So my approach towards any website, or my advice to any website owners, is always to look within first. Look at what is missing on your website. Look at what is the problems with your website right now. Because if you focus on that first, after you solve everything, then you want to go out and do outlink, backlinking and stuff like that. It's gonna, number one, increase your chances of organic growth, and number two, you will not face issues like this, right, where you're spending a lot of resources to build links, okay, and then end of the day, it's either time or money wasted. So I'm gonna put down here, okay. So what we can do is we can go in and take a look at the type of links. Okay, so I'm seeing some very, very weird stuff going on. Okay. So what I'm looking at, is this part over here. So this part shows us all the websites that are linking to this company, okay? And if you can see over here, yes, this could be a legit website, okay? This is somewhat a little bit shady, okay? Netflix premium account Bloggerize. And then when I look down, Blog Pro Design, and then the more I go down, okay, look, 2006 concert, this is a Japanese site. And then this is what is this? This is a Thai site. So look, okay, so these are some weird These are some weird sites linking to them. So this will mean that of my guesses earlier on, they most probably either hired somebody to do SEO for them and specifically to build links, number one, or they did it themselves. And like I mentioned, if you do it the wrong way, it's gonna hurt your website in the long run more than it will benefit you. So this kind of sites that is linking, there could be a few reasons. Number one, it could be a blog comment. Okay, meaning to say the owner has some sort of SEO knowledge and they know that backlink is important, but they don't know the exact strategy or the correct strategy to implement backlinking. So what they do is they go to these blogs and then over at the comment section, they leave a comment and then as well as a backlink linking to them. So let's see whether if that's true for some of the websites over here. Okay, so this is what we do not want to see. Okay, this website, this is a I think it's an Indian or Tamil website or Arabic. Yeah, I'm not sure, but this is definitely not something relevant. So you can see over here, this is the backlink that is built, right? And if you can look at the date, it is around 2014. Right, so this is around 2014. Okay, so you do not want links like this to your site. So from what I know, it's highly likely that so backlink profile is, okay, I don't want to say poor backlink profile, but I want to say backlink profile. Okay, I'm just gonna put poor backlink profile because I don't know how else to phrase it. You can see pages like this. This is sites that we want, right? This is sites that we want. Okay, these are sites that we do not want. Okay, and they probably hired SEO before in the past, like I mentioned. Yeah, but you get my point, right? So if you do not know how to do SEO or you want to do SEO, make sure you're doing SEO in the correct way, right? Look, okay, this is kind of weird. Okay, you do not want websites like this to be linking to your company. Okay, because this has no relevancy whatsoever. Okay, so their backlink profile is not strong. So that's one. Now let's go and take a look at the anchor text. Okay, now what is a good anchor text profile? A good anchor text profile will be majority of the percentages. Now, if you're not sure what anchor texts are basically when a website links back to you, what is the word that they are using to for that link, right? So it can be click here, right? And then when they click on the click here, they get redirected to your website. So that is what we call anchor text. So with anchor text, you want it to be overall, you want it to not, the majority of the percentages should not be keywords that you want to rank for because that is unnatural. You want it to be generic and then with a few percentages exact, right? So let's take a look. So one thing that I'm already saying is video production agency in Singapore. It's majority of their anchor text profile, see 25%. So this is, I think this is still not out of these, I would say benchmark of poor anchor text profile, but I would like to prefer to see this or this to be majority. I would like to see branded anchor text to be majority of the backlink profile because remember all these are signals to Google and in Google's eyes you want it to be as natural as possible, right? Because this will help in a long run. So one thing that I would like to see is this is a anchor text, which is 25% and then followed by their brand. So I like to see the other way around. Okay, and the rest are okay, I guess. So not too much of a worry there. And then let's just see the kind of organic keywords. So their website is technically not ranking for anything. Okay, this is kind of weird. What is this? Huh. Oh, okay. So this is a blog post, I guess. Okay, so now that that is just an overview, right? So now we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. Okay, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. And okay, before that, I want to take a look at this robots.txt to see if there's any weird things going on there. Okay, everything seems normal. And then we want to look at their sitemap. Sitemap.xml. So it doesn't seem like they have a sitemap. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this into a technical audit software called Screaming Frog. Okay, so just by, I don't know how long that was, but I think 20-30 minutes you can find some major issues with the website already. So remember, this site is a minimum of 5-year site, right? Imagine if this was for the past 5 years. And over here, we want to be as helpful as much as possible, because that is, how would I call it? We want to be able to help them as much as possible before we do anything else. So this is kind of weird. And you can see that Screaming Frog can only crawl a few pages. And I think the reason why is because the rest of the pages has been set to no index. But this is kind of weird. Let me see. So they don't have a sitemap that I can crawl. Let me see if I change it to JavaScript. Will it be able to crawl it better? I don't think so. Yeah. So they are using SiteGround as a host, which is fine. But yeah, I can't seem to crawl their page. Okay, so because they have set their whole page to no index, right? So I want to see if that is the reason why I cannot crawl their page. Follow external, no follow. Yeah. So I think because the whole site is set to no index and no follow, that's why I can't crawl the pages, because what the spider do is when they reach on this page, because all the pages are no follow, they are not following they are not following through to the next page. So let me check that, and this should work. Yeah, so now it's working. So while that is being crawled, just by the fact that the whole page and the whole website is on a no index is a major big flag. Okay, while all this is crawling, I am going to look at their, let me see whether are they running any sort of PPC campaign. Oh, okay, so they are running pay-per-click ads. And with companies running pay-per-click ads, I want to give them advice on how to better optimize their pay-per-click ads, because okay, so you can see that wait a minute. So you can see that these are the keywords that they are running for, right? Which is perfectly fine. Okay, but what's going to happen is if their website, how do I say? Because when you're running Google Ads, you're essentially sending traffic to a place, right? But if the place that you're sending them to, it's not, how would I call it? It's not the best. It's going to sort of waste your ad budget. Okay, so what do I mean? When you send people, okay, in this case, they are sending people to their homepage. Now, when we go to their homepage, you can see that, like I mentioned a lot of times, right? With home pages, the homepage is not a place, or is not designed for capturing leads, right? Because if you are running Google Ads, or if you're running any sort of ads, you want to drive people to a very, very targeted page, where the page main focus is just for them to take a specific action. It can be calling them, it can be emailing them, okay, but it's very specific. So that is what we call a landing page. Okay, a landing page is not necessarily the same as a home page. A home page is a home page where you're showing off your brand, your testimonials, your services, what do you do overall, right? Your brand. A landing page, it's for them to land there, and then you are converting them to do something. So some specific landing pages will not have any navigation. Okay, because with landing pages, you do not want them to navigate away from that page, right? Because on that page, for that particular traffic, you are trying to get them to do something. So you do not want them to go navigating around. So that's first. Secondly, you want to have a very, very clear-cut call to action, okay, somewhere. Okay, and in this case, their call to action is all the way at the bottom. Okay, so that's second. So not the best usage for driving AdWords. Okay, and hopefully I can show them some examples. Okay, so now that this crawl is done, actually I'm going to just okay. And again, right, this is not necessarily good or bad, because in our world of optimizing, we are always trying to make things better. How can we make things better? So does running PPC ads to homepage not good? It doesn't mean that it doesn't work. Yeah, it works. I mean, it still gets traffic because you are essentially paying for them. But we're talking about how to make things better, how to convert better, right? So that is another issue. So now that we have cropped all this, we're gonna export this out. Okay, and then we're gonna go to our file. We're gonna open up the crawl. Okay, and then I'm gonna just, like I mentioned, all these data you see here, we don't need to have all of them, because I only want to take a look at a few of the most important pages. So firstly, we're gonna get the URL. Okay, I'm gonna insert another column here as content. Okay, URL. So this is all their URLs. This is the type of content, the status code, indexability. Okay, so they are using Elementor, which is a lot more easier for me to relate to them. So they are not making use of their title. You can already see that most of their pages, well, actually that's not true, because all these are uploads. Yeah, so that's not true. So gonna have to take a deeper look at that. Okay, and then okay, so their meta description is not being used. Wait, is it? And I just like to double check. So this, okay, I'm going to remove from Chrome this, and then I'm going to reinstall Ahrefs toolbar again. Okay. And I'm going to refresh it. This should work now. This is weird. Why can't I? So by right, this is supposed to show the... Am I missing? Oh, okay. So they changed the format. That's why I couldn't find it. All right. Yeah. So this is a confirmation that their descriptions are missing for all their pages. So their meta description is missing for all of their pages. That is not good. Take a look at the H1s. Monaco. Word count. And I don't want to worry about inlinks and outlinks for now. Okay, so I think that's about it. So we can close. Oh no, we shouldn't have closed it. Okay, I wanna copy. And then we're gonna paste it in the export. So this way, whenever I need the data, I can, pull it again. Okay, so now that we have all the data, we don't want to look at all the data because we only want to look at data that is relevant. So let me delete these two columns. Okay, you can already see a lot of rates here. Okay, rates means, not good. So what we want to do is we want to take away JavaScript, images, and I think this, and this will leave us with all the pages. Okay, now one thing straight off, all the pages are no index. That means all these pages technically do not exist online. So that is not good at all. Okay. And then when we look at page titles, okay, the page titles is not optimized, right? On page metas not making use of on page metas. Refer to audit. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through what I mean. Okay, so first of all, when it comes to a page title, okay, page titles are generally it's considered one of the most important factor when it comes to ranking for on page, right? So you want to make sure that you have keywords in your page title, and you want to make sure there's a few criteria that you have to check off. The keywords need to be in there. If you can, secondary keywords can be in there too. Third of all, it needs to be written in a natural way. Fourth of all, it needs to be written in a way that it entices people to click. So there's a few criteria there. And last of all, you want to make sure that your page title is not more than 60 characters. Okay, so that's the best practices, at least for me. Now, there's a lot of criteria out there that people follow, and whatever works for whoever. But that is the criteria that I've followed, that have gotten a lot of results so far. So secondly, if you look at it, the meta description right now, all of the meta description are missing. That means they are not making use of meta description. Okay. Meta descriptions are things you see here, okay, where you're sort of like giving them a snippet of what they are in for before they click on this, right? So that is for meta description. And you can see that they do not have any meta description. And also, their header 1 tags, okay, their H1 tags are similar. So think of if you're reading a book and every chapter of the book has the same heading, right? Every chapter you read, chapter 1, CVP group, chapter 2, CVP group, chapter 3, CVP group. You have no idea what you're reading, right? So this is how Google is looking at your site, and they are determining, they are looking at this, and they are essentially going through that process of not understanding what that particular page is about. And then next, if you look at word count, now word count is the number of words they have on that particular page. So ideally, you want every word count, every page word count to be minimum 500, at least minimum. Okay. So if you're looking at these pages here, 244 plus 400 plus, okay, you want to at least make it 500, and this is the bare minimum. If you want it to rank for certain keywords, then you want to find out overall on average the top, at least the top 5 or the top 3 positions, how many content do they have, how many words are they using, and you want to kind of match it or be within that range. Okay, so that is for word count. And then canonical is just canonical, it's a sort of like differentiating between which one is the more important link. So the canonical at least needs to be same, because if their canonical is pointing to a different page, then it's going to be a whole new different story. So I'm going to move this here so I can see it better. So because this is not an e-commerce site, and this is not a big website, they should have self-referencing canonical. Self-referencing means to say they are pointing the canonical back at that the same URL. So all I have to do is just do a check like this. Okay, this is the same, this is the same. This doesn't have a canonical, the same. So yeah. So technically, if you check for a few, right, and this is kind of the pattern, this means that all of them will be most likely the same. So at least the canonicals are right in place. So these are all the issues that we have found so far. So just by that alone, they're gonna receive tons of value. Okay, I'm going to see how their ad is like. This is not showing up. So it seems like they are buying ads over their competitors. So all of them are buying ads over their competitors. So this is one of their main competitors. This is also another main competitor. So where is their ad? Have they stopped running Google Ads? So they have stopped running Google Ads. Upload video, let me see. Okay, another way to check. Nope. So let me check their Google My Business. Okay, so their Google My Business has been claimed, which is fine. Are they replying to reviews? No, they are not. Okay, so they need to reply to reviews. Okay. And I'm not seeing their ads, okay? So I'm gonna skip this part because I cannot find their ads. Let me go check their Facebook real quick. Okay. So yeah, that is in a nutshell of what we have found so far. So based on this alone, this is already a lot of stuff that we can go through with them. I hope the video is not too long. How long is this video? Yeah, so close to around 50 minutes. Yeah, so that is it for this video. So I hope, you know, by watching these type of videos, it can help you better understand where your website is lacking on, how to grow your website organically, how to grow your business organically online, so that, you know, Google understands what your website is all about, and essentially driving traffic, driving leads, driving sales to your business. So if you have any questions, please feel free to, you know, leave a comment or leave a yeah, I guess leave a comment in whichever platforms that you're watching on. And if you would like to ask questions when we go live, when I go live, then subscribe, because then you'll get a notification whenever I go live. With that being said, that's all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, stay safe, take care, and bye-bye.